There is nothing so beautiful to me as when somebody actually shows their true colors. It's amazing how, nobody in this room, but how there are people that have deliberately not wanted to show their true colors. And it's an interesting thing, and I think it has a lot to do with what Marion was talking about as well, is that sometimes your true colors are really bright. And they're kind of blinding in a way, you know? Now, I know you're going to find this hard to believe, but some people have blamed me for being like big, flamboyant, too bright. And you know what I tell them now? Put on your sunglasses, baby. Put on your sunglasses. You're too bright, you're too bright, you're too big, you're too bright. Thank you for the compliment. I did read your chapter, by the way, Marianne. I went in there and I read that, and I was getting ready, and I was in the middle of meditation, and I got this hit that there was something in my book, which is the memoir of the little man, finding the prince in the chaos, dysfunction, and mental illness. Lighten up. And I said, what could possibly be in there? But I was so driven. And I said, it's that scene with your mom in the car. And I said, I don't know, I'll follow it. So I went to the book and I opened it up. It was that page. So I got some God bumps, and I realized that there was some golden nuggets in a story that I had never discovered before about this moment. So I'm going to read you an excerpt from it and show you the true colors of what went on. So, if you, without going through the whole thing, it wasn't exactly the most cheeriest book that you're going to pick up and go, I can't wait to read the memoir of a little man. But I think you could, especially if you know me, to see it's about victory. It's about getting through something and finding your true colors and being able to get through that and move through it and shine a light where there's only darkness. To shine a light where there's only darkness. That's the favor that we can do. So I found this little nugget in here. So it starts with this. My dad's drinking binges and the family being terrorized in the wee hours of the morning brought suffering to us all. As a matter of fact, we all had circles under our eyes from crying and getting no sleep. I can still feel the defeat after those nights that I thought would never end. My mother would drop me off at school on her way to work. My eyes were still filled with tears and the memories of him throwing things around and screaming all night. But this is where we get to the nugget. My mother would look so sad, but all she'd say was, "Have a good day, and don't think about home at all. This is your time to forget about it all and have fun." She'd wipe my tears from my eyes and she would say, "Smile." It was almost a demand. She made sure I heard her too, because she said it again. I said, "Forget all about Dad and last night. I want you to have a good day." Now here's where this ties in. I used to resent that. I used to resent it until now. Because I realized what really happened here. And she didn't even know it. She wanted me to smile so she wouldn't have guilt. I know what she was up to. But I smiled because I wanted her to have a good day at work. You bet, Mom. But guess what I got? I got permission, as we say in this philosophy, to turn away for just a moment from the condition. She gave me permission to go to school and to forget about it all, to live fully present in the moment. And I did. It was my vacation. I went to school and it was beautiful. I got to know friends and I started to show my light, my colors, my personality. And I just went back to a 50-year reunion from that time. a couple years ago. And you know what they said about me? He's still funny. He's still funny. And so here's the pop psychology about it all that says, yeah, but weren't you masking your feelings? You're damn right I was. I took a time to turn away from the condition so that I could see there was something else to be shined through. And this is for all of us. This isn't for a little Patrick, the little man. This is about when we say turn away from the condition, we're not saying pretend it's not there. I'm going to let you know, when I got home from school, that crap was still there for me. But I had 6 hours to shine. I had 6 hours to say, there's another life outside of what's happening at home, and I want more of that. So when that's going on, I'm going to remember there's a time that is so filled with light. And even when I was at that wonderful Catholic school, or as I call it, I'm discovering Catholic, I discovered I didn't want it anymore. But at that time, what I saw was they talked about invisible people, saints, people from other realms, kind of like what we talk about here on this island. It was just think, and I remember thinking to myself when I got older, my mom would say, are you smiling? I go, I don't have to smile. I'm an adult now. Oh, gee, good for me. Good for me, I don't have to smile, because I resented that moment that was telling me to smile when I had tears in my eyes. But then I realized, oh my gosh, I had all of that time to unfold and grow up and be able to show who Patrick truly was. I could have done the opposite. My brother went to school and his face was really long and he really resented it. And he went to school not showing all of his true colors. But I thought, this is my time to shine. And I don't care, Daddy, what you're going to do when I get home, but I'm going to tell you one thing, I'm shining. And I didn't know I was taught that. So give it up for my mother. I mean, she didn't even know she was doing it. So anyway, see, I wanted to brighten up, but I had to tell that to get to that. But that's it. It's not about smiling when you don't want to smile. But here's the beautiful thing. When you're not smiling and things are going, I have the same thing. It's like somebody comes up and they go, oh my God, life is horrible. How you doing? Well, actually, they usually don't ask that. But they go, how are you doing? And it's very difficult to go fabulous. And then I'm thinking to myself, what a disservice I give to those friends, those people. What a disservice I give by not shining my light so that you, while you're in the darkness, can have a light that you can see to reach yourself out of wherever you are and know that there's a light waiting for you. In Marion's book, Mary Oliver, the poet, she says, tell me what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life. Tell me, what is it that you plan to do with your one wild, precious life? It's a good question, yeah? Sometimes I go to myself, oh, I'm just now getting it. You know, I'm going, oh, why didn't I get this 20 years ago? Or I'm going, oh, really, you're not going to go down that road, are you? Because that road is so dangerous. Regret of what? Somebody has said with that book, they said, what parts would you take out? Not a damn thing. Because if I take one part out of anything in my life, I lose it all. I lose it all. I lose it all, and it's not worth it. It was worth the pain to see the beauty that I discovered who I am and who each and every one of you are in every moment. That's the gift. That's the gift. And so I was listening to this wonderful thing of the quantum field, and it said, the quantum field is a mirror, a match, and a dance partner. And I thought, what does that mean? That means that I'm a match to whatever's going on. So when I complain, because I do that every once in a while, I don't know why. I just, it doesn't happen very often. But when I complain about something, I'm sitting there, and that's what it is. The focus, right? They say a mirror, a match. It's the perfect match. It's called mental equivalent. So the more I focus on something, what happens? Grows. The more I focus on, I am the light, that grows. And then Marion ended her chapter. I just want to prove to her I read it. This is how it is. She says, lighten up. In so doing, you lighten up the world. And that's how the chapter ends. Or shall I say, begins. I think the biggest sin, and I don't believe in sin, by the way, but we were talking about Catholic school. I believe the biggest sin that we can do in our life is to dim our light. To dim our lights. Can you, even saying it makes my heart hurt. Because we're such beautiful people, and we are so magnificent. And to think that we would dim our light for any reason, because we're not worth it, I don't want you to feel bad. I want you to know, shine your light so bright, I will never feel bad. I will feel inspired. I will feel infused. I will feel healed by your light. So, to quote Marion Head, lighten up. In so doing, you lighten up what? The world. Namaste.